All right, what's going on, everybody? Here, this is Jordan here. Just to get my thoughts and feelings just on the Liverpool Madrid game, Champions League that happened yesterday. So by all accounts, I'm a Liverpool fan. Been supporting Liverpool. Oh, geez, probably since late 2006, early 2007. So, I've seen us in some predicaments, but yeah, not like this under Klopp. In a long time, and in a while. I think this by far is probably the worst Liverpool team I've seen. Probably since the 14-15 season under Brendan. When we finished, the season before that, when we finished second in the league. This definitely reminds me of that season where everybody's just underperforming. Just really, really bad. I think in that season as well, we also had a lot of injuries. I remember Sturridge being injured a lot. Henderson was injured. Coutinho was in and out of the team. Joe Allen. Just a lot of inconsistencies. The team just wasn't fit a lot that season, and it's almost reminiscent of this season here, where we just had a lot of key players, especially in our attack, not out. But I'm here more so to talk about the Real Madrid game. I mean, I know everybody in the spaces have been, saying this everywhere. I haven't watched all of them just because, I didn't feel like just being shallow and gloom like everybody else. I kind of at least wanted to debrief a little bit and just collect my thoughts and kind of, take it out from here. But yeah, that was the worst performance I've seen at Anfield in a long time. I don't think ever since I've been a Liverpool fan, I don't think I've ever seen us play that badly at Anfield ever, and let alone it was a Champions League team. In the Champions League against Real Madrid. They scored 5 unanswered goals against us, and a lot of those goals were just bad. So, I mean, their first goal, the goal with Vinny Jr. I know some people I've seen where they blame Joe Gomez for and Fab for not closing down the ball quick enough for me. That was just a great strike. I mean, that's what quality players do. Vinicius is a quality player, and I mean, he just put the ball in the only place he could in the net, and Alisson couldn't do anything about that. So, fair play to him. That was a great goal. I don't really think anybody can do anything much about that goal. Second goal they scored, Alisson. I know Joe gave you a soft pass, deal with the man, but I mean, you had, I think it was Robbo on that side that he might have had, or Trent. I'm sorry, they could have played it too on that side. I mean, come on, man. Like, you could have just passed it to him, or even just kicked the ball out of play. No need for you to do that there, man. And I think that's the third time Alisson has blundered a goal like that, the season. I'm blaming Alisson for that, but I'm not going to go in on Alisson. Alisson, for me, has been our best player this whole season, so I'm not really going to go in on him, too hard. But for me, man, you got to do better. If I'm Kelleher, I'm itching to play, but I think I would give it one more season just to see, how Alisson's form is, just to make sure that, is this a goalkeeper that's slowing down a little bit, or are these just forced errors that the other teams are putting them under pressure for. So I think that's going to be pretty enlightening to see come into play. Then we're going to halftime 2-2. Well, let me talk about us. The first goal we scored, brilliant play, intricate play. Mo Salah with an unbelievable pass to Darwin Nunez. Nunez, blacks it fast to Courtois, unbelievable. Good, just good overall play. Really got Anfield going, and really started the game off really, really good. Mo Salah capitalizes off a Thibaut Courtois mistake. That's kind of how I look at it. From there, it's just two world-class goalkeepers just making blunders that kind of just cancel out each other. But obviously, Courtois is going to get a little bit more glory because he didn't concede 5 goals and everything like that. I'm going to halftime. As soon as halftime comes in, we give away a silly foul. Modric's on the edge of the spot, and then I think Trent was first marking him on that back post. But regardless, how no one picked up Militao coming into the middle for a wide open header is just crazy to me. It just baffles me how bad we are at set pieces this year. I don't know who the set piece coach is, what they've been doing this whole season. I mean, the set piece coach, I think the guy's been here for what, almost 4 years, 4 or 5 years now. I mean, for me, that's just basic level defending. Defending set pieces. You learn how to do that at every single level of the game. So why does this happen to this season? I mean, we've just been absolutely terrible on set pieces, and yeah, that's good. That enough said about that. We just have to do better on set pieces. Period. Then the fourth goal, Joey G with the deflection. I think up to that point, Joe Gomez wasn't having that bad of a game, but I will go into Joe about that. I'm so sick of Joe Gomez turning his back on the ball consistently. He's been doing it almost every mistake that he's made where he should have actually been a defender. He completely nails it. Brighton comes to mind. I think he had another one against Wolves. Napoli in the Champions League. I mean, there's probably more that I just can't think of the top of my head right now. But yeah, for me, Joe Gomez, for people who still have faith in him, for me, he can't be a dependable starter. Now, Klopp might be like, not fair enough. Konate's out. Matip has been in great form, but Matip should have played this game. In my honest opinion, we need to make sure that we needed to make sure that we were solid. And then we know Real Madrid are the comeback kings. They did all the last season in the Champions League. They came back and won all the games in the road to the final. So they have that in them. For me, I need just a solid guy. But at the time he went with Joe Gomez, he deserved it. He put in 2 pretty good performances at Everton and Newcastle. So hindsight is a great thing. But yeah, for me, Joe Gomez has to go, and I'm kind of going to moving forward for the season and everything like that after I kind of review this game. So yeah, Joe, terrible on that one. Then the 5th goal, I mean, just so easy counterattack goal, man. And I've kind of noticed this since last season. I think I've kind of been on some spaces, either typing about it or I think I've been on camera saying it as well. Fabinho, for me, has been regressing badly since 2021. Since 2021, when we were short on center backs, I know he came back and had a good performance that second half season, but start that season and then most of 2022, man, I've just seen a lot of midfielders just run past this guy. And I already knew when we signed Fabinho, he didn't have a lot of pace, but what made him set him apart was his good positioning play. This guy is just off. For me, at the top level, he's finished. He will not be able to carry Liverpool to where we want to go in the future, anchoring our midfield. He is way past it. I know a lot of people are going to say he's only 28, things like that. But, bro, how long has Fabinho been playing? I think he's been playing professional soccer since what? He was 17, going through Real Madrid, the academy, stuff like that. Bro, some people, it just happens. 10 years at playing top level football. It's just some people, it'll just get to you, man. It is what it is. And for Fabinho, it's him. For me, I'm looking at it. I would sell Fab in the summer. I'm just gonna say it like that. And most people are gonna be like, no, we should keep him. He's still a world class player. We need to keep all of our best players. Nah, bro. For me, he's got to go. He's got to go for me, man. He can't. He not only does he get ran past, Luka Modric ran clear past him, and Modric is like 38 years old. Are you taking the piss? Are you serious? I know Modric is a quality player. For me, I think Modric is probably not one of. I think he's the best midfielder I've ever seen. I know people are gonna say that's a crazy shout, but for me, Modric is unbelievable. There's nothing this guy can't do, and he does it at a high level for over 2 decades now. He is up there with your Zidanes, Xavis, Iniestas. He's sitting at the table with those guys. For me, he's ahead of that table. But I'm not here to debate or anything like that about that. But when I saw Modric just do that, I just said, "There's no." take him out, take the yellow card for the team, and let's get back into shape. But the fact that he just couldn't even catch up to him, man, that just did me in. I lost it in my house, man. I couldn't believe what I was watching. But anyway, but Benzema, kind of slots it easily, went past Alisson and just scored it from there, and that just ended the debacle at Anfield, man. We kind of just saw the game through with the subs that we made. At that point, I didn't really care. The game was over. There was no point of trying to save the tie. I was like, whatever, game's done. Let's just try to salvage whatever's left of our season. Because right now, top 4 is the only thing on the priority list right now. We have to get top 4, period. And the story for that, we just have to in order to help with the rebuild. But yeah, so and that game just kind of subbed up Liverpool's season altogether. Have good in certain moments, but overall just been shit all year. Let's just call a spade a spade. We've been freaking shit all year from start to now. It's been awful, and I get it. We're in transition right now, and I'm okay with that. And I would have been okay with that if that was kind of laid out at the start of the season. Hey, this is a transition for us. We're bringing in new players. We have to gel well. Cool. But when Klopp's, talking about, our goal is to win the Champions League and compete for the titles and everything, and this is what we're doing, nah, bro. Those players need to take a hard look at themselves, because some of them, I get it, we played in 4 cups last season. I get it. At the start of the season, dude, I knew we were going to be tired. It wasn't just enough of a break for that. I totally understood that. But either the owners, which I'm not going to make this an FSG out thing for that right now, the owners either should have gave Klopp the money, even though I think there was money there. Klopp just wanted to give one more ride to this team because he's trying to buy Jude Bellingham. Cool. Okay, cool. Hindsight is 2020. I know people are like, we should have this, we should have that. You made decisions that you made in the summer. Now we gotta live. Now we gotta live with that. Now, moving on for the rest of the season, I think we need to go ahead and focus on top 4. I think Luis Diaz is coming back. I know most people are probably gonna say he should just rest up and we can start for next season. Bro, we got to get to that top 4. If he's running and he's able to play Luis Diaz, let's start getting the players used to playing with each other, so that way coming into training camp and starting next season, we've already kind of got that chemistry going, and now it's just kind of kicking out the other rust and getting the motor going for next season from here. Going into the summer, I think people have been talking about it. From there, depending on what the budget looks like for the summer outlay, it's just going to be dependent. For me, I'm going to be honest, I think for me, the bulk of that budget needs to go in the midfield. The midfield for me has been a big concern for the past couple years now, maybe even 3 years now. After we won the title, I was looking at maybe possibly rejuvenate that midfield, because that midfield had been going strong at that point for some of those guys for nearly 3 years. I thought it was just time to refreshing it up and things like that, from there. Because the way that Klopp plays, I don't know why he's so concerned about keeping a lot of these players. I know we gave him a lot of contracts before Michael Edwards went through and left, but I thought we probably should be looking at going younger, especially in our midfield at that time. But now it's just like, we have to get legs in our midfield. We need guys who can cover grass, and, tackle, press, things like that. But we also need guys who can play. So the way I'm looking at it, we have midfielders going out. So who's going out? We know that Keita's leaving, Ox is leaving. I know people are talking about Milner leaving. Probably going to upset some people. I would probably keep James Milner for another season. When Milner plays, his little cameos for 30, 40 minutes, Milner isn't terrible. Now, it's concerning when he starts full games. Like, yes, I agree that's concerning. But if we get the midfielders who I think we can get, Milner's not going to touch the pitch that much. In my opinion, maybe in the cup games to kind of help out the younger players. But I like Milner, man. Milner is one of the Premier League GOATs. In my opinion, the amount of games he played. I mean, he's just an old head who's been in this league for so long, man. He can teach players like Nunes, Gakpo, the new boys that come in. He can just teach them about the league, man. I think having someone like that in your team, sharing that knowledge with you, is just important. Why you don't want to go out there and have young players around that knowledge, for me is nuts. In my opinion, I know Henderson's there, but Henderson has Henderson's trophy cabinet and pedigrees like Milner. Milner's been playing in the Premier League since he was 16. Come on, man. Like, he's an experienced player that I like to keep around in the locker room. So personally, I would keep Milner, but we'll see what the decision is at the end. Either way, if Milner leaves, I'm not going to be upset, but I would prefer to keep Milner. But anyway, so I said Ox and Naby are leaving. For me, I already said I'm selling Fabinho, so that's the third midfielder gone. I think we can get the 40 mil back that we paid for him back in 2018, and some other things. Selling the Wolves, Brighton, who I don't care at this point. For me, Fab just needs to, Fab needs to be replaced. The reason I said Fab needs to be replaced, Fab's not. I don't think Fab's gonna be the guy who's gonna be okay taking a bench role to somebody else at this point. I just don't see that happening. I think it was bad enough that you're probably taking that you lost your spot to an 18-year-old. For somebody else coming in that you bought that they want to make the main guy, I don't think he's gonna stay for that. I think he's gonna go. He's gonna want to go play because he also wants to make sure that he can probably make that Copa America team next season and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, I think Fab needs to go, but not just on his personal spot. I just think he just needs to go on that point there. And then for me, I would loan out Curtis Jones because I need to see if Curtis can play in the Premier League. Like I'm like, can you really hack it with one of the best teams in the league in the most competitive league? Can you play in the Premier League? Because right now we're showing that you're not getting into the team right now. But Setches right now is getting ahead of you, and that probably shouldn't have happened. You've been in the team, you've been playing within Liverpool way longer, so you should definitely be getting more games. So I think we loan out. So that's four. So that'd be four midfield spots that we have open. For me, I would be okay in the summer if we brought in just three midfielders. I think we do need to bring in four, but I would be content with three. Three quality midfielders. Now that doesn't mean they have to be, the silkiest like a Modric or something like that. They just need to be three midfielders that Liverpool need in order to get us back to how we were back in 2018 to 2020. That's the Liverpool that I want to see back playing again. I even probably put 2017 in there because I thought from 17-18 we were killing it that season, especially in Europe. Oh, the way we just used to blitz teams, it was unbelievable. But yeah, so I think three is what we needed. I think Matip is leaving this summer because I would say for her defense-wise, for me, it'd either be Matip or Gomez who would leave. Gomez just signed a contract, so for me, I don't think it makes sense for him to go. And he's having a terrible season, so I don't know who would pay money for him. Matip still has credit in the bank, for me, he had a great season last season. This year has not been his best, but a lot of times he's only been bad since the beginning of this new year. Before that, he was all right from the start of the season up until November and everything like that. So for me, I would sell Matip, get some money for him, and I would look to bring in Guardiola from RB Leipzig. So let me just go through kind of what it is. So ideally, I think we need a center back, three midfielders. I don't think we need anybody else in attack. I think our attack right now is good because for me, we still don't really know where Harvey or Carvalho are going to play. So I'm not saying that those guys have to take up their spots, but I'm like, if they're going to play in the attack, I think that leaves us with what? We got Nunes. That leaves us with almost, seven attackers, in my opinion. I think that's enough to rotate the squad with. That leaves us with seven attackers. I think we're fine there. To be honest. And you want me to list those attackers? Attackers would be Salah, Nunes, Gakpo, Diaz, Jota, Firmino, Elliott, and then Carvalho. So I'm sorry, that's eight. That's eight attackers. Right there. Yeah, I think we're good in the attack. I'd be absolutely shocked if we bought an attacker in the summer window from here. But in midfield, the ones I obviously is for me Jude Bellingham. I know many people might say, depending on the budget we has, if we got to spend all the budget on Jude Bellingham, I probably would do it just because that kid is generational, man. He can absolutely transform our midfield, just like that. I think he is that good. I think what we expected Thiago to do, I think Bellingham can do because he can do everything in attack. He can do everything in the midfield. But not only that, man, he's so young. Like, he will get better. And if he's playing at this world you can debate world level, but at a top level right now at 19, imagine this kid at 23. dude, untouchable in my opinion. But just looking at who else we're looked at, I know Mason Mount is another big one. I'm kind of mixed on Mount. I think he's definitely a clutch midfielder. Brings energy. He can press. Can get you a goal as well. Not really the best on the ball, if you know what I mean. But he'd be a fine signing for me. I wouldn't be upset if we got him. But the big one that I really want is Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice is the anchor in our midfield that we need. That guy, I think he'll be. I think he already is the best holding midfielder in the league. I think he's passed Fabinho this season. I think he passed Fabinho last season. To be honest with you, if I'm 100%, I think he's the best, and he's the best in the league. Better than Kante, Totally like this. I think the only one who rivals him right now is Casemiro at Man United. Casemiro's been playing really, really well this season. Yeah, I think Declan Rice it is. And for people who might say he's not press resistant, dude, nobody can get that ball off that guy once he has it at his feet. He's so good at protecting the ball. He can progress it forward. He can drive forward with the ball. So for me, not only can he play the 6, but he can also play the 8. As one of my opinion, I think he's an underrated passer. I think he can create goals for his teammates. He might not have the best shot, but he can get goals. I think in Europe last season, I think he got something like 5 goals in the Europa League last season. So from that position of midfield and deep from midfield, I think he could score you goals. He's got the legs, he's got the energy, he's strong. I really, really, really like Declan Rice, and I hope Liverpool can sign him eventually as well. But I think a midfield of Bellingham, Mount, and Henderson. Declan Rice would be really good, and then they could rotate with those guys. You can put in Henderson, put in Thiago, put in Milner when you need to. I think that is the template going forward from there. But I think we really just got to get legs in our midfield as well. I know we were linked also with Mateus Nunes, but I don't think that deal's going to happen. I don't really see why Wolves would sell him after a season, even with this clause or whatever. I think I'm not going to get into that. I think that's just a weird situation, to be honest with you, from there. And then, like I said, the center back situation, I would go and get Guardiola. So that way you can just put Virgil Konate, Guardiola, or even Konate, Guardiola as well. Because for me, Van Dijk isn't Van Dijk anymore. That all-conquering center back we had in 2019 when he was robbed of the Ballon d'Or by Messi. He's just not that guy anymore. He's still a very good player, but he's not the world beater. I don't consider him the best center back in the league right now. Anyway, he has been for a number of years, even up until last season. But for me, this season, that for me is that for me right now this season. You're giving it to one of the Man United guys, either Lisandro Martinez or Varane. I think that they've just been performing better than him, or even Saliba out at Arsenal right now as well. So that's what I'm looking at, for the season. I think this will be a transition to get a lot of the old guard out and let the new blood come in and do their thing. I'll look at those boys and say, like, hey, this is what this team did. For the past 5 years, you guys have a chance to make your mark in history. Go out there and get it, because those fans will be behind you and everything. So that's my little 2 cents from there. Let me know if you guys like this video. See if you guys want me to get my thoughts and share them out. Again, I can go more elaborate from there, but this was just something that, I was just like, let me just put something up and just share my thoughts on the whole Liverpool situation. And yeah, it's not looking great, but we'll just see kind of what happens for the season, man. But like I said, I think top 4 is the priority, and we need to get our players fit and firing so that way we can, hit that objective. All right, y'all. Peace.